Okay, so I will never stop talking about trauma and activism because these are the two things that are very near and dear to me. Not in the sense that trauma is near and dear to me, it's just something that I am personally very much involved in. It is something that I have to deal with, and this is something where I do have a lot of compassion for the people who have been traumatized in their childhood because I know how it feels. But you cannot separate the fact that you're traumatized from anything you do in life, literally. I'm not saying that it's not you, it's your trauma. I'm not absolving you of any personal responsibility whatsoever. I'm saying that you actually, if you have been traumatized in your childhood, you have more responsibility, not because you're inherently like worse or anything, or because you inherently perceive the world in a wrong manner. I mean that you have to be responsible to do the work that's required for you to get better, because otherwise you're going to continuously reproduce the conditions of trauma that were kind of instilled into you in your childhood, or you will unconsciously cling to certain patterns of behavior and whatnot that may lead to the creation of more trauma. And I'm not saying that everything is trauma and everyone is just traumatized and that's the entire problem with the world. No, that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you want to help other people, you have to help yourself. Like, these two things are inseparable. Like, you are a person too, and if you are not willing or not able to put in the work for yourself, then I would, if I were you, I would question my own intentions. Like, how can I think that I can help other people if I can't even help myself? Now, don't take it out of context and don't say that, oh, well, I must get well enough in order to help other people. That's not true either. I think that these two can be meaningfully combined. I think that one can engage in self care and self help and community care at the same time as helping the community. This is where the dialectical interlinked exchange comes. Because your well being and your healing is going to be so much connected to how well you operate in your community. And if you even have a community to begin with, because a lot of the self help work is going to be building community or help building community, or at least finding some kind of community where you can engage meaningfully with other humans. So I will just be this broken record and keep saying that you need to address your own childhood trauma alongside with any kind of activism. And if you can't or are unwilling to do so, or if you say that you don't have any trauma, I would encourage you to re-examine these beliefs and maybe ask people around, people who are close to you, what their opinions are, because sometimes we don't notice our trauma reactions. Sometimes we don't understand that we are not 100% rational beings, and we may not feel, our limbic system kicking in and our amygdala telling us that we are in survival mode, and now every single thing we say or do is going to be a response to trauma. So we have to utilize any kind of resources that are available to us. Therapy is not always a viable option for everyone, and therapy in some regards may even be harmful. But whatever means you have, if you have a support group where you live, or if you're willing to possibly start one, if you have friends or family that may be willing to talk, do use everything that is available to you. Don't discard any one option saying that, oh, well, until I save up for therapy, or until I find this one therapist that's going to work for me, I'm not going to engage in self help or any kind of therapeutic work. You can do therapeutic work on your own. It is hard. It's not as helpful, I would argue personally, but still, you can do a lot of things. And if you're interested, I can share some of the things I did. If you leave a comment or a question, I can address it in another video. But for now, I'm just going to leave you with this.